Yeah. All right, so I'll call this meeting of the Public Site and Building Commission to order at 7:03. We do have a quorum, so we can get started. We don't have one.
You have a flag.
We do have a flag, okay, yay. So we can stand, please, and join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So we are going to kind of turn the agenda around a little bit and go quickly through municipal center renovation and then the police station training range, which if we have to take it, we don't have to take any action on those things, but we don't have a quorum. Well, we do, we have 4, so 4 would be a quorum. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. So for the municipal center renovation, on Monday, John met with Mark Schweitzer from Colliers and Jay Metcalf from BMP, and they had a little sort of getting things ready. Mark and Jay had not met yet. I don't think John had met any of them, so that was good. And went over what they might need to do to get started, and BMP has the building permit in place and all of the other information that they were needing to gather and get things ready. And since it's been kind of pushed off a little bit for a number of different reasons, we decided to wait till after Election Day since they can use the GP room for voting. And so we'll start shortly after, maybe the day after, not sure. Jay's got to get back to us once he gets things a little more organized and mobilized. There's a few things that need to happen in that lobby area. Some stuff needs to get moved out, like the soda machine. So we're taking care of who owns that and where does it go and like that.
Bookcase.
Yeah, the bookcase, soda machine,
And the bulletin board
on the wall, and a few little things like the fire extinguishers and things that probably should get taken down, put away, and then probably put new ones up. And we sent an email, went out from the first selectman's office to everyone in the building, so they have a heads up, so they know what's going to happen. And got a reply back from fire marshal saying, if you do use the GP room with only one entrance, it has to be a small number of people, so that'll have to be kept in mind for everyone. Hopefully they can use the gym instead, and that whole area will be blocked off for probably 3 months. So that's kind of all I have. You've got throw anything in?
I know
Mark
was there. We talked, and what we're going to do is the first thing they're going to do is demo the stairwell and the bathrooms, and then start with the rest of that's the heavy demolition part of it, and then start with the removing the floor and the main foyer and the front entranceway. Start rebuilding the bathrooms, the 2 bathrooms and a family bathroom. And then, do all the cosmetics, the painting, the new floor, ceiling and flooring on it. But like we said, there's a couple of things we have to get moved, like the soda machine. And one closet has the IT equipment. That definitely has to get moved.
Yes, I'm meeting with him tomorrow to look at that, because I kept being told that they'll just box it out. And I was like, who told you
That's
that?
going to be the entrance into the bathroom.
I know. But I was told it could just be boxed out. I'm like, we're gonna bang our head on it. We're gonna box it out. So we're working on that. And then Mark, I don't know if you have anything to throw in here.
No, I don't. We covered it all already.
Yeah.
And just the other thing is, we're going to hopefully a couple days after the election, is place a dumpster and possibly close off the 2 ends of the hall,
Right.
And then a GP room.
Right.
Boxed out, closed off.
Yeah.
So no public access.
Right. So I'm gonna want to know that, when I asked Jay, and I'll let you know, Mark, too, that the specific start date of that, we're gonna need to know so that we can then, again, email everyone in the building. We gave them, at the beginning of the week, an email went out from the first selectman's office saying, we're gonna be doing this soon, probably in the next 2 weeks. heads up, you can't use the space, you can't walk through it, et cetera. And then we want to give them a specific start date when we have it, so they know, there's some other stuff in one of the other storage closets that's gonna get ripped out that we have to take care of too, so we'll get that done.
Jay did indicate to us that he felt pretty confident about having the materials. There's no HVAC work to be done. And he says, basically everything is, they have in stock or readily available, so
Right.
it shouldn't be delaying anything. Hopefully.
Good.
Hopefully.
All right, so if there's any questions, we can answer them. Otherwise, that's just a quick update on that. We'll probably have to spend a little more time once the project starts and going over things and approving invoices, et cetera. But we don't have any tonight. So if anybody has questions, jump in. Otherwise, we're good? Okay. We have to go back a little because I forgot to do the minutes. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from our regular meeting of October 12th, 2022. Need a second?
Second.
John seconds. Everybody has had a chance to read them through. Are there any changes or updates that we need to have Kathy make?
Nope.
Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And then the other thing I forgot to do was public input. Is any public input? One once, one twice. Okay, good. All right, so moving on to our other business. So thanks, Mark. You can stick around if you want or not. It's up to you.
No, I'm good. Have a good night.
All right, thank you. So then we're gonna do the training range next. We're doing school stuff last because yes. So Mark Dupre from STV is here. So we've met you on the computer, but not in person. So welcome.
Now, I thought I would show up and say hello so everyone knew who I was personally.
Yep, good. So Vinny might be on a little bit later, but he found out after kind of starting with us that another big project that he's working on meets on the same night. Not always the exact same day, so sometimes he's gonna be here, sometimes not. When he's not, Mark's gonna be on either in person or on Zoom, whichever works out
Either
best.
here or Zoom.
Yep.
So,
And hopefully, in going forward, we're gonna do hybrid meetings from here, from meeting room B, because it's easier to get than meeting room A. It's nice and small and cozy and whatever. So for the training range, I know that there was a meeting last week, but I wasn't at the meeting, so I don't know if you have an update for us from the
well,
meeting.
the training range, we're working with Downs. Downs has their contract.
Yes.
So that's all set.
Mhm.
The issue we're having is with the Action Target getting all of the specifications and the cut sheets for the HVAC in a timely manner. And we're pushing on them, Downs is pushing on them, because it's gonna be a critical element to actually getting the work started, getting everything scheduled, and getting the project moving.
Great.
And we're looking at a very long lead time on it already,
Yep.
and Action Target is just not responding with a specific date or the information we're asking for. So where Vin continues to be a thorn in their side.
Yeah.
And work with them on basically nagging them directly as well as having Downs nag them.
Are we still waiting for stuff from Johnsky Hughes?
Awesome.
They won't finish their plans,
can't
my
fit
understanding, until they have Action Target
Right.
information.
They can't
Yeah.
finish until they get the HVAC elements that we're talking about from Action Target.
Right.
So they're a little bit, they're not necessarily in limbo, but they can't finish until they have the cut sheets and the specifications.
Right. So the meeting, I think Vinny said was Action Target was supposed to be there, but their person wasn't.
Never
But,
showed up.
Downs and Chukunski Humes to kind of get everybody together, but it was on Zoom, to get things started, to start coordination. And so Action Target put a new person, not new, somebody that's been with them a while, but not Rex, who's the kind of higher up guy. It's more like a project manager person in on it. And course, they're in Utah, so, and I'm assuming they're all out in Utah, so they've got to figure out time differences,
Well,
and
the biggest challenge is he doesn't have a cell phone.
I don't understand that part.
Is that one of the craziest things?
Yeah.
How can you be a successful project manager and not own a cell phone?
Right, right.
It's an office phone or nothing.
The
Probably not a
company
bad
has to-
idea.
The company should, I know, the company should hand them one and say, use this. So you'll continue working on that. I
We are,
know,
yes,
um,
that's our
that-
priority.
John Perna, who's not able to be here tonight, is looking for, the HVAC info
yeah,
as soon as we can get it, so.
Yes,
Okay, good.
all right.
I don't think there's anything more on the training range that we need to look
No,
at.
we don't have any
invoices.
Invoices or anything for that.
Yep, yep.
Not until probably our invoice will be a couple weeks.
Is there any way we can hold them accountable for not being responsive and working with us? Like, not, I mean, okay, doesn't have a cell phone, that mind blowing to me, but still not being as responsive as they should be with a project. Shouldn't we be able to penalize them somehow?
Well, they are a vendor, technically, they're gonna be under Downs's contract. We're a vendor to Downs.
Well, we have a contract with them, the town has a contract with them also,
Right,
because we had to kind of do that to hold the price in place
right.
way back, and once we had the referendum, to make sure that the HVAC prices didn't go up. And I don't know, I might have to put Sugner and Turkin on them or something. Because the fellow Rex, who was all part of it, is kind of like he's sort of there, but he's not, he's there still, obviously, but he's, not the project manager, he's got a higher. But David, I think we need to, I'm gonna maybe need to do some emailing, and Mark and Vinny, and we'll see if we can get Chief Bugner on it too, because they need to be responding and letting us know if they're having issues in getting equipment. They have a
Well-
long lead time to put their own,
Right.
not the HVAC part, but the range equipment.
Right, so that would, to me, that would almost be a breach of contract if they're not being as responsive as they're supposed to be, they're pushing us out.
Right.
And that was the whole reason why we went with them, is supposedly they were the best people.
At least if we can get the cut sheets and so forth, then.
Right.
Something, yeah, something.
And
That's
that
my
stuff
note,
they
yeah.
should be able to turn around in 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Because the HVAC is somewhat specific to,
And it
The
has to
project.
be, yeah, I think the reality is that what their base product has to be modified to fit the confines of our location.
Right.
So with that, they're probably still working on that, and they're just kind of delaying us and not telling us that, but that would be my expectation.
Yeah, but it's not rocket science. I mean, they built these all over the country, right?
I agree,
yep, Mark agrees, David.
I agree.
So we're just gonna keep pushing at them, because like David said, we went with them for a reason. I know there are not that many choices, but, out of the few choices, we chose that, so. Might have to give them a few more emails and say, what can we do?
We could, we could threaten to walk away from it, but that doesn't do us any good
No.
right now.
Not at this point.
No, not at this point,
We're kind of too far down the road with them.
right,
It hurts us as much as it hurts them.
and we weren't really looking at getting, well, one of the things that, Vinny said that Downs was saying that Action Target was starting to talk about delivering some equipment, like delivering equipment to be stored inside the range, so it was here. But if they don't have it ready, I don't get how they're gonna do that.
Well, we could talk to Downs about putting some Connex boxes in the area to store whatever they deliver.
Yeah.
But I'd rather they make one delivery of
Everything,
everything, or
yeah.
maybe 2 deliveries
Right.
tops.
Because Downs has to do a bunch of work in
Right.
there to create infrastructure for,
For
so
the
if there's all that stuff is in the way.
Yeah.
There's a few little boxes, that's one thing, but if it's big stuff, where's
Well,
it
if they
gonna
want to
go?
deliver stuff outside of the schedule, then we charge them back for storage.
Good.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, that's what we do. We rent a Connex box, we store it, and we charge them for it.
Yeah, and it's not like Rex has been in the space, so he knows what it looks like, and he knows
Right.
how big or small it is, and that there's not a lot of
And
storage.
in reality, Downs should control that.
They should go through Downs. Right. Okay. Good. Anything else? Anybody have any other questions? Good. Okay, schools. Let's still see your needs. So we're moving towards closeout, right?
Correct.
Want to give us a whatever, a report, a something, a,
Yeah, we have two requisitions, one for Rockwell, which will bring it down to a balance of the GMP $8,014. And then that'll be for the remainder of priorities work.
Mhm.
So we'll take that money and pay Sunburst with. And then we'll do the same at Johnson. We'll build out all of priority, and we're gonna pay Sunburst with that money. And there's a zero balance at Johnson.
so we're gonna look at that a little more closely in a little bit. But we did do a walk around, was it last week? Week before, early last week?
Yeah,
I
that's
can't remember.
Wednesday.
Yeah, and so Ken was there, and SLR, Perkins Eastman, Bob had to run away because there was an emergency somewhere, he's always getting called away. So we did walk around and check everything out, and it just looks so much better. There were a few little areas that SLR did mention that needed to be something done, and he came right back. I think he did it early this week. Put some soil down if he needed to, put some seed down, and got that all done. So that's done. And that was our last outstanding thing to get approved, so to speak. So when SLR sent the memo out, I forwarded it to everyone that we go ahead and approve. I don't think we need to do that officially, but I mean, that's their recommendation, is that everything looks good, except for those couple little areas that Pete took care of. So that was outstanding, the only outstanding thing. And I think that we could, and we have our other little bullets that we always look at, but the budget, I can put it up there if everybody needs to see it, but the budget and the tracking that Vin sent out, everybody has that to look at. We're still, I have to call it up, find it. Oh, Vin just came in. Hey, Vin, welcome. Yay, there he is. So whenever he finishes with that prior meeting, he's gonna jump in with us when he can.
Right.
So he's connecting. Wait a second. Hi, Vin. Welcome. So we just started talking about school stuff. And
Great.
I was just talking about the budget, so I don't know if you wanted to, I know you gotta get organized there. If you wanna put up maybe the combined budget.
Yes. Yep.
Got it.
Let me get everything opened up here.
Yep.
Sorry, apologize for being late.
That's okay. I explained that you had another meeting and you're doing double duty tonight. And Mark's here.
Yes. Yeah, but the big guy's there tonight. All right. Six. Let me share this one.
Ben's outside somewhere with the Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, the northern lights are shining behind him.
Absolutely. It's on my bucket list. So
Or something.
here is can you guys see my screen?
Yes,
Okay, yep. So here's the cash flow projection
Yeah,
for
if you could
schools.
make
Make it larger?
bigger, or-
you zoom it in a little bit.
There you go, you got it.
There we go.
Yeah, and then Kathy, if you
So
minus the people on the side there, you can open it back up.
yeah, the cash flow remains unchanged, for allocations, because there's been no additional costs added to the project.
So this is, not with whatever invoices that we're going to approve tonight, correct?
Correct. This is just the overall cash flow for the project.
Right. So it looks like we're, still in a decent place as far as, remaining contingency funds, et cetera. Right.
That's what the projection's coming out to be right now, yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so I think what we should do is, if either, so I want to talk about, so we have your application for payment, we have some other invoices. But I want to talk about, the closeout process. To make sure we're all still kind of heading in the right direction. And so that, so the applications for payment that I have, that are all signed and ready to go, there's still money outstanding on Rockwell. So there's gonna be another application for payment.
Correct. And if Ken is there, I'd like to have him speak on that. I had a conversation with him, on my way home, this evening.
Yep.
And, I think he needs to speak on the reasoning why he's holding back the $8,000, and for the committee to understand the reasoning for that.
Right, so it's the balance of the GMP, and it's the committee's decision what to do with it, since we're probably not gonna have any more reason to draw down on it except for outstanding litigation.
So the applications for payment that I have, because I did a quick review, of course, there's double pages in some of them, so it's like, wait, what, is that the last page? So the Johnson one is, balance to finish is 0, okay? And Rockwell balance to finish is 8,014.87.
Correct.
And for the most part, what is in the different lines is, some of your general condition stuff.
Right.
And the landscaping. But it's listed under priority, but you're not gonna pay priority, or are you? You're not. So the invoices for Sunburst, we don't approve them.
No, but I wanted you to see what,
Yes,
you know, we had from them that we were gonna pay,
okay,
so.
so is there any of these that we're supposed to do? Because it was an addition, okay. That's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we approve this, you get paid, you pay Sunburst.
Correct.
And then we have to see what happens. Right? Okay. We're gonna talk about that again a little bit later, differently. So, the other outstanding thing that we, Commission, have to deal with is the level spreader, which I received an email from Joe Collada at 4:50 with SLR's proposals and et cetera. So we can't really do anything with that tonight. I'll forward it to everyone. I could put it up on the screen if we want to read about it, but it's going to James DeMayo, town engineer too, because Beth Cavagna, town planner, asked James to be a part of the plan to remediate that. However, it's not gonna affect anything with you guys, and I don't think it should, Mark and I had this conversation, I don't think it should affect the closeout process because
Not reimbursable.
it's not, well, it's not reimbursable, but it's also not under the GMP. It's not gonna be part of anything that's going to the state.
That's correct.
Okay, that's Dr. Carver, yes?
Yep, yes.
Okay, you can put pictures back up, Kathy, I think, or at least, open that little thing up so we can see who's there. All right, so what's the next step as far as the closeout process? So either Dr. Carver or Vin or Mark can tell us. Mark?
speaking with Gerald
Yeah,
today, we're prepared to take all of the final invoices and working together with finance to prepare and submit for final closeout documents. Critical item there is getting your final invoices and anything else. But in a long discussion I had with Geraldine this afternoon, we don't necessarily need to worry about any of the dollars for the level spreader or the other things. She confirmed
yes.
what we both thought was reality, but I wanted to make sure she's more of an expert at it than I am. And we confirmed that. So our perspective on it is the sooner we can get your final invoices, the sooner we can get that processed. Geraldine will be driving from Southbury to Reno starting
Soon.
November 9th. So we'd like to get it done before then, if it's at all possible, so that we can get this process going and get the school project closed out as soon as
Great.
possible. My target would be to have it ready to go potentially by the end of November, if not sooner.
That sounds great, Mark.
So what?
She's smiling.
That's a good thing.
But I guess the hanging chad here is the final Rizzo, right?
So what does it take, that was gonna be my question to Ken and Jim. What's the process of then giving us that final with the 8,000? Is that,
So it's all dependent upon this issue with priority,
okay,
because depending on steps taken, things done, we may need additional GMP dollars, we may not. It depends on what we do with him. And ultimately, if it just drags on with him, there are going to be additional legal costs. So that would prevent us from submitting a final requisition.
so we have to prove this. You pay Sunburst some dollars, back charge. That either starts them or they just kind of go fit, whatever. We're gonna
It's
discuss
a
that a little
possible
bit more later.
scenario, yes.
Okay, so our next regular meeting would be November 9. So that's 2 weeks, we should know a lot by then.
Okay, so
And we'll be in touch with everybody, talking if needed, and hopefully get another application for payment from you guys. All right, so is there anything else that we need to know about the closeout process? Because we can approve that and a couple other invoices that we have, and then deal with our further discussion on the closeout. Good, yeah, everybody's okay with that? All right, so Ben, you could probably get rid of the budget thing.
On my lost mouse. There it is.
So I have the two applications for payment from Rizzo and 3 invoices from Perkins Eastman.
Correct.
Cash to, when you give them to finance, I'm just gonna hang, I have them, but,
Yeah, I don't think so, because
okay.
finance is.
They'll just get confused and they won't know what to do with it. Okay. All right, so let's do the applications for payment first. Just throw one up there, Ben, and I'll
Got it right here. There you go.
know which one is that. It's Rockwell.
This one is Rockwell.
Rockwell.
Is it? Yeah, Rockwell.
And as I said, all of the stuff that's been sent out as attachments have the extra pages, which explains, again, here, when we get to the last page, there's no retainage. Balance to finish is the 8,014.87, and then specifically the different lines. If you need to look at it, or if you didn't already, should have. So I'll make a motion that we approve the Rizzo application for payment number 37 for Rockwell School in the amount of $26,310.61.
I'll second it.
John seconds it. Does anybody have questions on it?
Nope.
I have the certified copy, so even though it says certified and everything up there, I've got all the signatures here. So if we're good with that, we can vote on it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. And then the next one for Johnson. So I'll make a motion that we approve Rizzo application for payment number 37 for Johnson School in the amount of $120,504.30.
I'll second it.
John seconds. Any other questions, comments? You see that one, balance to finish is 0, so that's pretty much done. And as we discussed earlier, the little bit that we have to deal with Rockwell will be done the next time. No questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Done. And then we have 3 Perkins Eastman, which I had questions on, and
I didn't see.
Yes, I spoke with Perkins Eastman today, and we'll pull up this this application right here for payment, the 035. This is they're still drawing for the reimbursements under the original contract.
Right.
And so that's what they're billing for this one,
Okay.
for the 5225. I just want to make a note that when speaking with him, when he did, when Perkins Eastman did when they did the reimbursements for Johnson School, these reimbursements right here should have been applied to the invoice I had up earlier. As long as we have no objections to paid under this invoice, we're good. We can also subtract the 4183 from the 5655 number and pay that, and then apply this 4183 over to the overall project. This invoice right here is the additional work. So that's what they're billing on right now, the additional work on both Johnson and Rockwell.
So one of them's for, and I had conversation with Mark about this too, that when we had to extend the construction timeframe, both Perkins Eastman and STV had addendums to the contracts.
Right.
To do the work that they needed to do. So you're saying that all 3 of these are part of that, or?
No, this invoice right here, the one for Bethel, this is the extension of their contract, 138,730 for Johnson School. Okay, so they are now drawing down on that extension that was applied to the project.
Okay,
This 4183 here should have been applied to the original contract for the reimbursement.
Right. Well, hi everyone, it's Joe. Can you hear me? I'm in the car.
oh, yeah, okay,
I'm the weird 508 number that you're seeing on the screen probably.
okay,
Yeah, so for both projects, we have one contract for each project.
Yep.
The extended CA ASR is an amendment to that contract. So all of our reimbursables are in the base contract. So
Yep.
we're tracking it separately. Base contract, which for our time and is all billed out, but we still have the expenses that we charge to that project number. That's
Right.
our internal number, but it's still all one contract for each project.
great,
That clears things up. And that SLR, that one reimbursable charge got applied to the wrong project number. It slipped through. So they sent us one that was just separately. It was one that was buried in with their time for the extended CA, which should have been applied to the 68962.00 project number, not the 0.071. So if we could bill that again next month separately, or if you approve it now. I'm not sure how you want to do it.
I would just take it off of
Right,
this
yeah.
and have them do it next month. It'll be too confusing for
Right.
finance.
So am I supposed to then, I can take the 4183 off of the $5,655.08? I know
Yes.
you can't see it, but.
No,
All
I
right.
saw it, I reviewed it fully with Vinny earlier.
Yeah, so I would take off the 4183. And finance.
It's all gonna, to us, it's all gonna go to the same accounting department, but I don't know how your POs are set up.
Right. But then the second one for $52.25, which I think is also SLR.
Yes,
That one is fine. That'll be this one.
And-
Wait a minute, no, wrong one, sorry.
Go ahead,
This
no.
one right here.
All
This
right.
one right
yeah,
here
the
is
41,
correct.
the 41 should have been applied to that other separate invoice
Got it,
This
okay.
one.
with the original project number, but it slipped through the cracks and ended up on the extended CA invoice instead of that one.
Got it, okay, so we could take the 4183 and put it over with the 5225, but you're thinking finance would go
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, I
Alright.
just think it's probably easier just
Okay,
to
so we'll
remove
just do it,
approve
you'll
the
do it
other.
next time.
Yeah,
Right.
so we'll just resubmit that next month.
Got it, okay.
For October?
Yeah,
It might be for November at this point.
yeah,
I think I have to check with accounting to see when we send out our October invoices. They might have already gone out.
because this is
I'm not
for,
sure.
this is for the month of, these are for the month of September. We haven't
Okay,
got,
all right, so yeah, so it would be October then. It would be October.
before the month of October, but we'll do it in November.
Right, it'll be approved in November, right, yes, exactly.
Okay,
Right, so we would need your invoices before November 9th.
yes, so Joe, thanks for letting us know you're on. Because you heard
Yes.
us, yeah, you heard us talking about the whole closeout process. And so we're gonna need,
About the whole- yeah,
we're gonna need from you, your final level spreader being separate, your final, whatever invoice, so that we can move towards working on closeout also.
right, so the level spreader, we don't have a separate contract for that. It's all part of the same contract.
It is,
The additional service for original contract.
right, but if we can bill it separately or somehow,
It's gotta get broken out.
it's gotta get broken out, because if we're gonna close the everything out sooner rather than later, we have to have everything, not the level spreader, invoiced.
Correct.
From you, from STV, from Rizzo.
Right. I will have to talk to Joe Costa about how we need to do that then, because I don't know if we'll have to,
Tell him his
Contract for that?
brother-in-law said he has to do it.
what's that?
Tell him his brother-in-law said he has to break it out separately.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But
it's,
you didn't know that, did you?
and you're gonna have to kind of, none of us knew that. You're gonna
Maybe
have
we should
to
know that.
kind of do that somehow, we'll figure out, and then you gotta, if we have to email about it, we will, but you also need to, and I'll email you this, I had emailed this out a while ago, need to, you can direct the invoice to, not to Matthew S. Knickerbocker, no, any longer, and,
Oh, you know,
don't mail an email to Geraldine at STV either, because who knows where it'll go? Nevada. All right, so since
She's
you,
still, her STV email is still active.
oh, okay. Well, I knew it was supposed to stay active, because it would go to Vinny. So let's
yeah,
see,
I indicated that to the accounting department. I'll have to double check with them why that's still happening.
okay. And I'll email you just as a reminder. So Vin, since you have
Okay, thank you.
the 5225 up there, that's what we'll do now is
Correct.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Perkins Eastman invoice number 68962.00.0-35 in the amount of $52.25.
Okay, second?
John seconds it. Hopefully everybody understands what we just talked about. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. Throw another one up there, Vin.
Easy.
Let's go to the easy one. Oh, okay, let's go to the easy one. We'll do this one here next.
And I'll do some subtracting. So
Right.
a motion that we approve Perkins invoice number 68961.06.0-19 for Rockwell School. The other one was for Johnson. Kathy puts that in there automatically for $937.50.
I'll second.
Seconds, any more questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. Pulling up my calculator.
And this one.
I'll make a motion that we approve Perkins Eastman invoice number 68962.07.0-19 for Johnson School. In the amount of $5,613.25. That's the 565508 minus the 4183.
Call that the adjusted amount.
Yeah, and I'll make notes on this. The adjusted amount of $5,613.25.
I'll second.
John seconds it.
Dave also,
Hopefully, everybody understands. What do you need?
I said Dave also.
Dave,
Okay.
Dave also got it. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Done. That's all I have for invoices, Vinny. I don't think you have others, do you?
No, that is it.
Okay.
So
So-
Nancy, I think for Rockwell School, we could definitely make October our final invoice. And
Okay,
then for Johnson, I'll have to talk to Joe about how we break out the level spreader fee as
Well,
a separate thing.
right. But the thing is that you heard us talking about doing the closeout with the Office of School Construction. None of that's going through the Office of School Construction. If
Right.
that amount that we approved for you and SLR to work on with the level spreader has to be a whole separate something, we can try to. Because there were other things,
Right.
Joe, that you did, that we asked you to do, that was then approved by us, that you put a different number on, a different -0 something number on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we could-
basically every additional service request, including the furniture and the FF&E package, this became a sub-project number for us, but it's all the same contract with the
Right.
town. So
Right.
it all falls under that base contract.
Right. So, does anybody
Including
know?
the level spreader, which we just lumped in with the extended CA. So if it works for you, we can maybe break that out into its own sub number and
If-
fix accounting. I'll have to talk to Joe about that though.
right, if that's a way to do it so that we can just get everything into the state that we need to get to the state,
Right.
that would be great.
Yeah, I think we can make it .09 and adjust the numbers with accounting. I'll see if they could do that. I think they can.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, I think it's important that we try to do this because, talking with Joe today, we're looking probably a March timeframe before they final bill on that level spreader. And I don't think we have that time to get this project closed out. So it's important that we try to get something set up so we can close out the main portion of this project.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
We're all gonna work towards that as best we can. Well, not just as, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna work towards that. So does anybody else have any other questions or things to input before we do the next step? Everybody good?
I'm good.
So we're gonna do the next step, and that's, I'm gonna make a motion that we go into, correct me if I'm doing this wrong, Kathy, go into executive session to discuss contract closeout, et cetera. And I am going to invite in, well, all the public site members, Kathy, Dr. Carver, Vin, Mark, Ken, Jim, and Joe. So I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Done. Stop the recording. All right, so we're out of executive session. No motions need to be made, no decisions need to be made right now. And I think we're pretty much done with everything we needed to do tonight, unless anybody has anything they have questions on or that they have to deal with. Lose Bob Germanero and Dr. Carver, I guess. So we're good? Good, good.
Good. Motion to re-
Wait, somebody have something?
Motion to adjourn?
Hey, you're coming into my territory there, Olson. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, good night, everyone.